Hi everybody and welcome to Module 1. I've made this video now like 3 times, and I think it's because it's Saturday night and I'm tired and I have my heater cranked on over there, my little floor heater, because it's really cold outside today. And I think it's making me even drowsier. So let's see if, fourth time's a charm. What I'd like for you to do when you undertake every single module in this class is to access the module checklist. Each module has its own checklist, and print it, okay? Print it and then write notes in the margin about what you need to work on and track yourself as you go through it. Another tip that I have for you is that my husband's over here on the periphery. Another tip that I have for you is that you kind of protect yourself from all of the information in the module. A lot of students get overwhelmed. And one thing you'll notice if you look in the module is that it's got little plus and minus signs, and you can actually expand and collapse sections of the module. So what I recommend that you do is that you read over the checklist once without letting yourself panic. But then once you're done with that, kind of mark on your module checklist by what date you're going to finish different things. And then collapse all of the things that don't pertain to what you need to work on right now. Take baby steps, one step at a time. So you have to protect yourself like that. Do you need something? You can sit there. They don't care. We're online teachers and learners. Well, I'm going to take 5 more minutes. Let's talk. Okay, thank you. I'll get that in a minute. All right, so this is one of the wonderful things about doing online learning is the constant interruptions. There goes my husband in his pajamas. All right, because it is Saturday night at the Hewitt house. Okay.
We're lame.
All right, go. Get. All right. I've kind of lost my train of thought here, and I refuse to remake this video. All right, back to Module 1. So you've printed your checklist. You read it once, completely. You tentatively mark little deadlines for yourself. I'm going to finish this stuff. And then you hide everything from yourself till you get to it. I do recommend, though, that anytime you have an assignment that's got a Dropbox attached to it, for example, Wiki Foundation, that you at least read through the instructions. Skim them. Don't save that till the last part of the module. I would always read those instructions within the very first week. Okay, that's kind of a good rule of thumb. Read the whole instructions, if nothing else. Even if you're not going to start the assignment, at least scope it out, because that's what a lot of online instruction is about. Really, any class is kind of scoping out your tasks as well as doing it. Okay, so what are you going to do in this module? Well, the first thing you want to do is sign up for one of the upcoming face-to-face meetings. They're optional. They're all the same thing. We're going to learn how to podcast in that session. There's 2 face-to-face, and then there's 1 live one kind of between the face-to-face meetings. It's going to happen in Wimble Live Classroom on the homepage of the course. Please come to the session, especially if you have any doubts about your abilities to do podcasting online. I have everything available for you to do it online, or you can do it online in the College of Ed, because at least in the College of Ed, it's got the software that you need. Outside of the College of Ed, you can also download the software. It's called Audacity. It's free and open source. It's really stable, an awesome program. It's just an oldie but a goodie. There's a lot of new stuff out there. There's Facebook and all kinds of really slick, modern web-based stuff, but Audacity is a keeper, at least for now. It does some really good stuff, and I use it every day in my personal and professional life. And maybe I'm just a crazy person, but I think a lot of you will see some benefit in it. Not all of you, but a lot of you. All right, so you can do the assignment. You can learn what you need to learn by not coming, but if you have any doubts, come to one of our sessions, or more than one. And please sign up on the little sheet. It's not necessarily a promise to come, but it will let me know if people are going to attend. Because if people aren't going to attend, I'm not going to want to show up to UWG by myself. I think people will show to all of the sessions, a few people. I talked to you a little bit about the 2 wiki domains in this class, so check that out. Your first big assignment, really the main assignment of this module, is the Wiki Foundation assignment. In this assignment, you're going to create a wiki. a new wiki. I know some of you already have wikis, but create a new one for this class, please. And you're going to have that blank wiki, and then you're going to have my example wiki located at wikifoundation.wikispaces.com. And you are going to copy my wiki exactly into your own. And basically, you're going to turn that in, and that's going to be it. And people wonder, am I supposed to have done all this work? Am I supposed to have made a digital movie and a podcast and written a SWOT analysis and done all this stuff by now? And the answer is no. When you do Wiki Foundation, all you do is you copy my wiki, and then you do a couple other little small things. Like you're going to embed a widget on the homepage, and you're going to write a little intro to yourself, that kind of thing. You're going to do a few little tiny things in addition to copying my wiki. Okay? Make sure you copy my wiki located at wikifoundation.wikispaces.com, and that you don't copy verbatim what you see in the video. Now, why is that? Well, the video is mostly up to date. It was made in fall of 2011. It could be that I find the time to remake the video for spring 2012 so that we have no problems and questions at all. But right now, it's looking like I'm not going to have time to do that. So the video is a little bit old. It will show you some things that were happening in fall that are not happening in spring. You're not going to have a problem if you just remember that you need to copy what's currently located at wikifoundation.wikispaces.com. That's what goes on your wiki. That's what your wiki needs to look like. Not exactly what's in the video. The video will be close, but it'll be a little bit different, okay? Because some people, they like to type what they see happening in the video. Don't do that. Just make sure yours looks like the current wiki that we've got posted at wikifoundation.wikispaces.com. All right. So that's the Wiki Foundation assignment. I want you to check out some examples of educational wikis in other contexts aside from our class. Go explore that. You have a book chapter reading from this textbook, Integrating Educational Technology into Teaching. I have provided the chapter. It's scanned and it's provided on Docutech. It's within fair use, copyright and fair use guidelines to provide you with this chapter. And so I want you to download the chapter. And what the chapter will give you, and it's a little bit dull in places, and I always reread it at the beginning of the semester, get back in the mood. And I read it today again, and it was good again, just like it always is. But what it will give you is a big picture overview. It's a little redundant, but a big picture overview of technology integration. It'll give you some history going back about 60 years. It'll talk to you. It'll talk about the kind of technologies we're seeing in the 50s, the 60s, 70s, the 80s, and then once the internet came, it was like, what we know now. And so it'll talk briefly. That's like 2 pages. That's nothing. They'll talk about different definitions, the difference maybe between educational technology and instructional technology. And it'll talk a little bit about research in the field, like how do we know if it's making a difference, if it's actually a good idea to integrate technology. So it'll talk about some of the issues with research in this field. There are some problems, but there's a lot of problems in educational research in general as well. So don't just think it's in educational technology. Education is so hard to study because it is complicated and it's human. Anytime you're studying people, let the variables begin. And it's just hard to control and hard to really make conclusions about what you're looking at. So I personally suspect that, and they allude to it a little bit in here, that we're asking the wrong research questions when we study technology. In the past, we've asked questions like, does the use of video cameras improve English students' understanding of, whatever it is, drama? That's not a very good research question, but like they focus so much on the technology, but you really can't pull out one little piece of something. You can, they try to do it in educational research, but it's really not a good idea when you isolate things. They're just not really able to say a lot about the outcomes of the studies, and they talk about that in here. There's also a section, though, about two or three pages, where they talk about, where is it? Oh, there it is. Starting on page 13. Why use technology? Using past research and practice to develop a sound rationale. I'm going to want you to actually kind of, as you're reading that part around page 13, 14, be looking at those reasons that they provide for using technology. Feel free to question them or disagree with them, but I want you to be thinking, which one of these sound compelling to me? You're actually going to be asked to refer back to that in your Module 1 discussion post, okay? So I want you to pick probably about 3 of those in there that you're going to kind of make reference to in your Module 1 discussion post. Things that sound like they could have some merit for your future situation. I mean, I still welcome you to doubt, what you're reading and to question it, but see if there's 3 sort of most compelling things in there. This chapter will look at all kinds of things, legal and ethical issues, cultural issues. It'll talk about sort of the threats involved with technology integration and talk a little bit about future trends. So it's good for you to know about this stuff. This is a good sort of foundational reading. And then inside of and I'll skip down to, actually, no, I'm not going to skip down. I'm going to stay in order. In addition to this reading, I actually want you to make a response. Now, you need to do this after you've done your wiki. You need to actually post your response after you finished your wiki foundation assignment. Why? Well, because on your wiki that you're making, you have a page called Readings. And if you've done the wiki foundation assignment correctly, where you've copied and pasted, then you have posted 2 questions related to this Roblier Chapter 1 onto your Readings page. Let me make sure. I'm going to go to wikifoundation.wikispace.com, just to the example. There's a Readings page, and you will have copied what's on this page. And one of the questions for Chapter 1's Roblier textbook chapter is, what technology trends do you think hold most promise and are most interesting? Why? So I want you to respond to that on your Readings page of your wiki. The other thing is picturing your future teaching situation. What are the 2 configurations from Table 1.4 you think you'll most likely use, and why? So there's a couple questions there in addition that I want you to respond to on your Readings page. That's in this module. In this module, you're only doing Chapter 1. In the next module, you have a couple questions about Chapter 2 of the Roblier book. We're not reading that whole chapter. It's very long. We're reading about 15 pages of it. And I have a couple questions that you'll respond to at that time, so you don't have, for some reason, this point is not ever made clear enough, but people think that they have to have read all of these things in this one module. You don't. You have some time. And then in Module 3, you're going to read Chapter 1 of the UBD book and answer 5 questions about it. So there's more readings coming. This module, you're only doing Chapter 1, and you're responding on your Readings page. You'll turn in this Readings page at the end when you're finished with all of the answers. So in about 5 or 6 weeks, that's when you'll turn in the Readings page. Okay? So it's up to you to kind of make sure that you're getting it done. Okay? So you're not cramming it all in at the end. Plus, you need that foundational information from Chapter 1 now. You don't need it in 6 weeks as much. All right, so back to the checklist. Yes, I ramble. It's 13 minutes. Okay, so in the Module 1 discussion, you're going to want to make 1 initial post and 2 follow-ups. There's another short reading. It's like 5 pages long. It's wonderful, concise picture of this reform of technology integration that we're talking about. It really, I feel like it gives one of the most objective treatments of the topic of technology integration that I've seen to date, and I just think that you really need to read it. So that's an additional reading. And then I actually want you to refer back to the Roblier in the discussion as well. I wanted to make sure that we kind of pulled that into the discussion. Now, I know so many details, but for this discussion, you can wait until the 2nd Thursday of the module to make the post. Why? Well, because it's relying on your having read Chapter 1 of this, and then reading this Cuban and David chapter, this 5-page, really short chapter, before you make your post. And I can't stand it in classes when a professor thinks that somehow I'm going to magically read and really understand, 30. In my classes, it's more like 150 or 200 pages. But still, I hate it when they give you no time to do a lot of reading, and I don't want to do that to you guys. So that will give you a week plus 4 days to get the reading done. And I think you can do that. I think you can get the Roblier chapter and this other little short chapter read, so you can do your little discussion post in a timely fashion. So In the orientation module, I told you must post by the first Thursday of the module. Well, on this one, you can have till the second Thursday, okay? All right, so I'm going to, last thing, you want to make sure you get a webcam. If you don't want to get a webcam, you can use the ones that I've provided in the Teaching Materials Center downstairs in the College of Ed. Many of your laptops have webcams, but in the orientation module, there was a page there's information about how you want to deal with the webcam thing. So go back to the orientation module if you've already forgotten about the whole webcam thing. You'll need that in module 2. All right, for both podcasting and your progress video journals. All right, so have a great module. Let me know what help you may need, and I look forward to seeing the discussion as it starts to bloom. It'll probably get really underway once that first deadline, that second Thursday comes up, and then we'll probably see a lot of activity. But get it on there, and just let me know if you have any questions. All right, thanks.